welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing very well. Okay, first of all, before we get into this absolute mass continuation on talking about this Moses, Daphne, who's Moses' ex, and Trisha situation, I just need to tell you that something very traumatic happened to me last night. I'm not even bullshitting you about it. Okay, so basically, I've been deep cleaning the apartment, and I always put hand sanitizer on in between like each room, and just to kind of make myself feel more clean. So anyway, I put some of this hand sanitizer on, great hand sanitizer, and you know it works because it smells like absolute dog shit. And then I went to light a candle in my room. I went like this, I'm like scared to do it. I went like this, right? And for some reason, I don't know, it picked up on my hand. It happened so fast, but my entire hand went up in fucking flames. And I mean, not like, I mean like, I was like fuck. Got it sorted. Got my hand out of the fire. I ended up lighting, I was wearing one of my favorite shirts. Unfortunately, it was a Teddy Fresh shirt, and it now has a burn mark here, like through it. I immediately ran and put my hand under cold water and then was rubbing ice on it and put my hand on an ice thing. And surprisingly, I've only woken up with like a little bit of a bump here, but that was the scariest thing I've ever been through in my life. So I just wanted to let you know that that's what happened last night. Okay, so anyway, we all know that there is a current ongoing situation with Moses, Trisha's fiance. And this is that a lot of Moses' ex-girlfriends are speaking up about him being not only just incredibly weird, but also someone who is very bad to be in a relationship with and has done bad things to them from what they are saying, right? And one of the main people has been an Instagram account called Miss.Mercury. Now, this person is called Daphne. And I didn't know much about Daphne, honestly. I'm going to be transparent here. I saw a couple tea pages here and there, like Frenemy Room and Spilling Tea, posting about her. And whenever I looked further into it, I would see that she was posting about her experience with Moses, talking about her opinions with Trisha. Trisha was allegedly calling Daphne the stalker, and it's been this full back and forth, right? Now, Daphne has been making claims, I'm just saying that to protect myself, it's not that I don't believe anybody. Daphne has been saying claims about what happened in her relationship with Moses for quite some time now, and it has never been something that Trisha has openly addressed. Now, that makes me believe that it did happen, not only just because I believe when someone's speaking up, but I'm also saying that if you know Trisha, Trisha shuts down things really quickly, so the fact that Trisha's not speaking on this is definitely a bit shady. Now, Daphne had posted a series of Instagram stories in which she was showing her text messages with Moses, and we made a video going through them, and when I tell you that it was the most explosive comment section I've ever had on one of my videos, I mean it. And so Daphne has since posted some follow-up Instagram stories talking about people assuming things, people wanting her to say more, and we're gonna look at them. And I also want to look at the comment section on that video, and I also have a lot of opinions. We were reading through a lot of text messages in that video, and we didn't really get to a lot of, talking. So we're gonna hopefully do a little bit more of that in this video, so buckle up, I hope you're here for it. This will probably be a longer-esque video, so again, if you're here for that, I appreciate that. If you're not, fuck off. So let's just get to it. So we have all the screenshots here pulled up, and now I'm just gonna keep these on the screen. I don't mean to block Bonnie, but just for a little bit of reference, throughout, and we're gonna get to that. So in this as well, it's showing that Moses is, and I'm saying alleged text messages, alleged conversations, because you know what? You don't know if these text messages are real. I am leaning towards believing that they are completely real because Daphne is speaking up that they are real and showing text messages and showing context, and I have no reason, and you really don't have any reason to not believe that or disprove that, but I am just putting it out there that these are alleged text messages between Daphne and Moses whenever Moses was in the transitional period into dating Trisha Paytas, which we all know now, whenever they were filming the Bachelorette series on the H3 channel, which was when Trisha and Moses kind of like officially started dating, right? So Daphne put on her Instagram story and said, "Please stop asking me private questions about getting R-worded. Disgusted that I have to make this post. Not gonna lie, it's not fun thinking about this shit or seeing his face every single day. I will be sharing things at my own pace as I have time and time again. So just be patient and please stop asking for tea, because this is my actual life and I can't escape it when I shut down my computer. Now, one thing I do want to say, if you don't know much about Daphne frequently goes live on her Instagram, and I do follow her on her Instagram because I try to keep up with this as much as possible. Even though it is a lot and it's very heavy, I do like to kind of stay on top of it because a lot happens within a short period of time, so it's good to stay on top of it, if you know what I mean. Daphne went live on Instagram maybe 3 days ago or something like this, and I'm pretty sure she might see this video, so if so, hey. And she went live and she was just talking about her day or something like that, very casual Instagram, and I commented on it and I was like, hello, you know, just being friendly, right? Because I would assume that she might have seen the videos that I've made on it, because she talks openly about seeing drama channel videos on it and people getting the message out there about Moses and talking about the truth and, you know, from Daphne's side. And she was really nice to me on the stream. She was saying that she's seen the videos and that I was very polite to her, and I appreciated that, because there are a lot of people that approach this story with Moses very much so like, here is all the evidence, Moses has done this, Moses said this, whatever. And I appreciate that Daphne is still being pleasant to me, even though I'm coming on here and saying that this is alleged. I do not know if this is true, but let's talk about this as if it is, because we're being presented at, you know what I mean. So Daphne here is saying that they don't want people to just continue barging in about the Moses stuff because it is their real life. So again, this was a follow-up when there were text messages and Moses was just saying really weird things about Trisha. And one of the main things was that Moses said this: the thing is that Ethan got to see her lady parts before I get to, in theory. Wait, what? She sent him a picture. I forgot her tweet. Jesus. So from Daphne, from Moses, and again from the Instagram handle. Now, this, why are you eating my flowers? Oh my god, I literally turned my back for 2 seconds and there's a cat in my sink and there's a cat by my flowers. Hey, let's get down. Let's get down. Do you want to say hello? We can say hello. Come on. You don't want to be in this. Oh my god, you're soaking wet. He was in the fucking sink. Okay, he was in the sink, but I think he was just looking. Kiss. Kiss. No kisses today. Hi. He was just looking for attention. And also, Tyler is right here, who was eating my flowers. Don't worry, they're pet-friendly ones. Hi. So, there we go. Okay. So, I forgot who sent it. I didn't want to see it. Not into black guys. So this was a text that Moses had sent Daphne in relation to Trisha, and there were a lot of speculating in the comment section of my video about what this means. I still really don't know what this means when Moses is like, not into black guys. However, Daphne again, which I do want to show you because a lot of people were questioning it, Daphne's clarified. So in Daphne's opinion, the one who was actually having this conversation, someone said, what did Moses mean when he said he wasn't into black guys? He was respecting their pronouns identity at the time. Now, a big conversation in the comment section of my video was that not only has Moses allegedly been speaking to women behind Trisha's back while dating Trisha or together with Trisha, but if what we're being presented with is correct and the correct context, it means that Moses was also poking fun at Trisha's gender identity and the coming out as non-binary that Trisha Paytas did and using they them pronouns not that long ago. However, from my knowledge, I think that this was done before Trisha came out as non-binary. I think this was whenever Trisha was coming out as like a chicken nugget and all this dumb shit. So that may be that. But it could also be in current terms. Now, that's a really big issue, if so, because Trisha has been speaking in TikToks for the past couple months about how they finally met someone Moses, who is accepting of them. Moses once did a TikTok that was like, meet my boyfriend or something. It was like, it was an audio about that you would use for a boyfriend, and it was videos of Trisha, and Trisha was like, I finally get a partner that accepts me for me and is also seeing my masculine side. So just everything else. It's really douchey that on top of everything with Moses, that this would also be something that he would resort to. In terms of the comments though, a lot of people were questioning further that they didn't understand any of the text messages. Now, I completely get that as well. We're getting text messages from Moses here saying that he wants to be married by now and that he would have been married by now if he was in a different circumstance, kind of hinting at that he wanted to get out of LA, but then he started dating Trisha. And to clarify in that, my opinion of what this is, it seems that Moses, allegedly, in my opinion, from what I'm gathering, was texting maybe multiple women about different life plans at the exact same time. Trisha quite possibly, allegedly, in my opinion, included in that at the time. Which goes to prove that people are saying that, oh, why is this happening? Why is Moses still getting married to Trisha? Blah, 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 blah. It goes to show that, in my opinion, allegedly, that Moses loves marriage. I don't know. So, again, before we get to the comments, and I want to add further onto it, a lot of the conversation from Moses was talking about how LA is really hard, and yeah, in New York I would have been married by kids right now. This was the alarming thing for me. I have met people that are 22 and more mature than any 30-year-old. If I looked and acted my age, it would be one thing, but I am timeless. You know I am a man and I will decide what my future will be, especially in this field. So a lot of the messages that Moses were sending, now I am going to click these down and go onto the comments because there was a few at the top that I really did want to clarify on. So there was a lot of messages from Moses where he was speaking about himself as kind of a higher power, that he is timeless, he is God, like time doesn't exist to him, time doesn't matter, like he's above it all. And it again was very weird, and I don't mean to call someone delusional, so I'm not going to call someone delusional, but it definitely... So, okay, the comments under this video, again, there were over 1,000 comments. People were saying, if this is real, he's giving cult vibe energy, right? Someone said, Moses gives off strong, guy who has been talking to himself in the inbox for 5 years. So, there's people making jokes here and there. However, there's people getting into it a bit further. Someone said, Moses is so opposite to Elah that he must feel miserable under her shadow. So he acts like he's some sort of superior being to compensate for being the loser that he is. This is in their opinion. This is what they said. This is what Rentana said. So, following on from that, a lot of people have been saying that the last time that we heard Ethan and Elah speak about Moses was in the text messages to Trisha, where they said that they believed that Moses had done said activities to these women that is illegal, right? And that they believed the victims. So that's the last we've heard of it, and they have gone silent on it. Now, I do believe that they should stay silent on it, because I think at this stage, you can address something that happens with Moses, and I think this is why Trisha is staying silent too. You can address something that happens with Moses, and the exact same way you would with Trisha addressing something, more comes up then because of that. It's like an endless hamster wheel that they're running and running and running, because when you do so much and you do a lot of bad things, or you do a lot of things that can be interpreted in a certain way, or you just flat out do inappropriate things or anything along that sort, right? They're going to keep biting you in the ass. They're going to keep coming up. And even if they're not biting you in the ass, whenever they're brought up, people are going to talk about it, which is what's happening now, right? And I don't think that that was something that Trisha necessarily expected to happen to Moses, because Trisha was always the one at the forefront of that. So I would love to be a fly on the wall to experience what is happening right now, but it just seems like an incredibly inappropriate situation. So someone quoted that Moses said, "You at 22 is more mature than any 30-year-old. That's directly out of a pickup line for P words. That's what R. Kelly said to Aaliyah when she was 14 too. Is age just a number? That full, "you're so mature for your age," is one of the, on a surface level, one of the creepiest statements that anyone can ever say. And one of the biggest red flags ever. You're mature for your age? What do you mean by that? If you're 13, whether you're mature or not, you're 13. You're not a mature 13, you're 13 years old. If you're a mature, you're 16 years old. Mature 20-year-old, you're a 20-year-old. Like, it's used by men so much to justify them being attracted to young people, them wanting to get with young people, them wanting to like experiment with it. You're so mature for your age, I can almost relate to you. No, you can't. You're a 40-year-old man. Let's say it how it is. So someone said, let's not forget that Trisha said if a man tells you you act more mature than your age, that's a bad sign. And Adam, what did Moses say? And here's the thing. Through scrolling through these comments, there's a lot of people that are saying that directly what Moses is doing or saying is things that Trisha has spoken out against others for doing. Now, in my previous video, I compared things that Moses has done to maybe things that Trisha has justified, However, as time goes on and on and on, we don't need to like find things that can compare to like show that Trisha's a hypocrite. Trisha is a hypocrite because Trisha is choosing to defend Moses, or at least stay with Moses out of desperation. Again, no hard feelings by that. Because, I don't know why. However, if Trisha was going by the handbook that they've been using on YouTube for the past 6 months that they're no longer standing by because they don't need to, because the general public is fed up with it anyway, so what's the need to keep up with the accountability, you know, fucking era by Trisha? It's ridiculous. It really, like if you told me 6 months ago, like, not even on this, like, oh, Trisha changed bullshit, right? I'm just saying that, like, the version of Trisha that was presented to us, regardless of if you believed it or not, that was someone who was passionate about people abusing their power, abusing people. And to see all that be not only completely taken back as time has gone on with Trisha, but the person that you're like sleeping under the same roof with is being accused of it. Let's not say it's happening, is being accused of it, and you're not even speaking up about it, you're not even addressing it. To defend said victim or defend your partner, like, you're silent. Which is exactly what has been the issue that other people have done that you have said. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no other way to put it than this is a very bleak, disturbing situation. And one that has completely ruined the credibility of Trisha Paytas. And I don't mean ruin the credibility in terms of like, oh, like Trisha can troll and come back in 2 weeks. I mean that any person with a brain cell will not really be able to identify with anything Trisha Paytas stands up for or defends in the future. And I was about to say, and even if there was like a growth shown, what growth? Like, literally, it's disappointing that we can root for someone to have growth and root for someone to whatever. And regardless of the amount of opportunities, regardless of the good press, regardless of the love and support in anything, unfortunately, some people cannot change. And it's like, listen, through all the people Trisha Paytas has slated over the past, even year, right? Year at this rate. More! And I just mean intensely, right? When Trisha was kind of like a drama channel. Over the past year, that Trisha has slated for doing things that Moses being accused of doing, how are they supposed to feel? Like, could you imagine if those people, I can't name them off the top of my head, but start, like, the list of them, like, started speaking up against Trisha because Trisha isn't holding the same values? It's something to think about. It's something to think about. So someone said, people are bringing up about the age. People are bringing up about the age. People cannot get over that. Someone said, the hypocrisy is very weird that Trisha cannot keep their same energy that they have tried to show us. Someone said, these text messages from Moses allegedly are 100% what it's like to talk to an older man. They try so hard to seem different and they're really out here making no sense. Also, telling someone with an ED that you love their curves or whatever is so harmful. Someone said, it's really awkward whenever you think about him being a 40-year-old. Now again, a lot of people were commenting on my video being like, Adam, you can, you know, come for Moses without coming for someone being 40. I agree. I really do apologize that whenever I'm, like, if I'm ever coming for someone and I use their age, or even if I'm not thinking about it, because I have spoken up about that I do this and I apologize for it in the past. Moses being a 43-year-old man, in my opinion, regardless of how many times I say that your age is not a number, right? It is a big factor. Moses is not a young man. He's not an old man. He's a 40-year-old man. He's a 40-year-old man, and it's about time that we started looking at the age, who they're talking to, who they have talked to, and regardless of them being too old, too young, they're old enough. They're old enough. They're not too old, they're old enough. So I'll start saying that because I appreciate that there are a lot of people out there that are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond who watch my videos. Shout out to all y'all. I fucking love you, and I appreciate that you're choosing to watch an 18-year-old. Or 19, oh my god, I'm 19. 19-year-old, right? I'm mentally stuck at 18. Oh no, even, like, that's a problematic statement in itself. I'm not using it to any advantage, but you know what I mean? Like, doing stuff like this, I'm sorry, your age does matter. It really does. You are as old as you feel. Unless you abuse it. Unless you abuse it. You can be 30 and feel 18. You're still 30. You're 30 years old. And I think it's about time that we normalize having that conversation without people being offended. Right? Because that's whenever people are able to blur the lines a little bit. Oh, I'm not that mature of a 40-year-old, so you know I go for 20-year-olds. Or nobody's old, nobody's like, what I mean, but you're old enough. Because I feel like I was seeing a lot of people saying that in my comments, and I'm so sorry if I upset people by that. But I just have to preface that, like, when talking about Moses, this is a man, right, who is in his mid-40s. And I believe that that adds a lot of context. I really do. I really, really, really do. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear it below, but as a 19-year-old, that's where I stand on it. When I'm seeing 20-year-olds, not that much older than me, speaking up about someone who, at the time of speaking with them as well, was in their 40s. I don't mean to upset anyone by it, but I just think that if we're gonna speak about like all these conversations and stuff like that, that it's important to be like, this is a 40-year-old, right? He's not old. He's not old. If you're 40, you're not old. If you're 50, you're not old. But you're your age. And it's important to keep that in mind when talking about certain subjects and involving other ages and abuse of power and abuse of what age you are. All love. All right, I'll read a couple more comments, right? I'll read a couple more comments because I appreciate that you all were signing off, right? Someone said, I honestly feel bad for all the people involved in this, especially Ela. Queen is out here trying to live her life and her brother and his partner just attract chaos. Definitely not saying people shouldn't be able to talk about any of this stuff, but I can only imagine the family issues that has been caused by all of this. It's just all so messed up on so many levels. But when something wrong, creepy, bad happens with public figures, that's what happens and it gets talked about. As it should as well. And Moses has chosen to become a public figure. So, someone's saying that in my last video I said that Moses gives off Ross from Friends energy with like talking about marriage and stuff like that. Here's the thing as well. I've gone back and forth and being like, you know, like commentary channels, drama channels, like journalists, whatever, you know, like what is our purpose? In situations like this with Moses, people are now hearing about other people's experience with said person, right? People know moving forward. People know that Trisha Paytas once advocated for this and now defends it. They know moving forward. I think it's healthy and important to talk about that. And the older I get, the more I value other drama channels, commentary channels, journalists. Like if you think about it, no one gets cancelled, right? No one gets, if they go away, sure, like their numbers may be affected for a bit, but that's them taking it as like a second out. Not everyone who we talk about ever gets cancelled. That's not how it works. However, I think it's important to have these conversations because there was once a time online and on YouTube where people didn't know who they were supporting. People didn't know what the people they support had done, which basically meant that they were blindsided whenever maybe mainstream media picked up on something. What we do isn't hurting someone's brand. I hate to break it to you, we don't have that impact, nor really do we want to have that impact. We want to talk. And with that, I'll end this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're well, and I'll see you in my next one. Stay safe, stay well. I fucking love you. I appreciate you watching. Nobody's old. Nobody's young. We're all our age, and our age is beautiful. But let's remember our age, all right? Can we agree on that? All right, bye.